HYBE has granted a type of recognition that integrates him into the company's framework, not merely as an idol, but as an essential corporate asset whose name alone can shift business outcomes. Unlike traditional acknowledgements where artists are celebrated for musical achievements, Jungkook's recognition is tied to his ability to influence sectors beyond music, fashion, consumer behavior, and brand equity. No other BTS member has been formally or publicly framed in this way, marking a first in HYBE's internal and external communications. BTS members have all received various forms of recognition. RM, as the leader, is often acknowledged for his role in guiding the group's artistic vision and representing them in global speeches. J-Hope and Suga are highlighted for their production skills and solo ventures, while Jin and V are often recognized for their acting opportunities and distinct public personas. Jimin, for example, has broken records with solo tracks and has earned recognition for his vocal and dance artistry. However, the recognition Jungkook has received is not limited to artistry. HYBE's acknowledgement positions him as a central figure who transcends the label of a performer. The recognition singles him out as the primary driver of global partnerships, particularly in fashion and branding, where his impact is quantifiable in revenue and brand prestige. This level of recognition sets a precedent, as it effectively means Jungkook is being positioned not only as an artist, but also as a strategic brand asset. Jungkook's influence did not emerge overnight. From BTS's debut, he was introduced as the Golden Maknae, the youngest member with multifaceted talent. Over time, this image developed into a reputation for being one of the most complete idols in the industry. His vocal ability, stage presence, athleticism, and adaptability allowed him to stand out even within a group of highly skilled performers. What distinguishes Jungkook is how his influence extends beyond music charts into consumer behavior. Instances of products selling out after being associated with him are well documented. This phenomenon gained attention from international brands and industries outside of K-pop. Unlike other members, whose brand power is strong but segmented, Jungkook's impact crosses industries, making him a rare figure who can stimulate sales and trends across multiple sectors simultaneously. HYBE has recognized this influence formally, creating a clear distinction in how he is positioned compared to the rest of BTS. The recognition is not just about being popular, it is about quantifiable business results that link directly to HYBE's corporate strategy. One of the ways to understand the importance of Jungkook's recognition is by looking at how HYBE communicates about its artists. Traditionally, entertainment companies highlight group achievements to emphasize unity. Even when individual members succeed, companies tend to frame it in ways that benefit the group identity. In Jungkook's case, HYBE's communication has shifted. The company has directly highlighted his individual power in areas such as brand partnerships, solo music achievements, and global campaigns. This distinction suggests a calculated move by HYBE to recognize him as an independent force, one whose association carries unique corporate value. This type of recognition from an entertainment conglomerate is rare. It reflects not only artistic respect, but also acknowledgement of corporate leverage. By highlighting Jungkook in this way, HYBE effectively sends a message to shareholders, partners, and global markets. Jungkook is a core asset capable of sustaining influence independent of group activity. Perhaps the clearest example of why HYBE granted Jungkook unique recognition lies in his dominance in fashion. His role as the face of Calvin Klein has created measurable business results that no other BTS member has been credited with at the same level. Fashion campaigns with Jungkook have generated unprecedented engagement, from social media interactions to direct sales increases in multiple regions. Brands like Calvin Klein are not merely using him as a promotional figure. They are aligning their corporate identity with his image. This is significant because it shows that Jungkook's influence extends into how corporations design their brand narratives. The partnership's success reflects back on HYBE, strengthening the company's reputation as a powerhouse in global celebrity marketing. By receiving recognition specifically tied to fashion and lifestyle branding, Jungkook stands out. HYBE has never framed another BTS member in such a capacity. This distinction highlights why his recognition is unique and why it holds implications for HYBE's future direction. Another dimension of Jungkook's recognition is that it is not confined to music charts, awards, or streaming figures. While he has broken records with his solo releases, HYBE's acknowledgement emphasizes his influence outside of traditional music metrics. This is an important distinction because it positions Jungkook not as an idol competing within K-pop, but as a global cultural asset. No other BTS member has received recognition in this manner. Their achievements are largely framed within musical contexts, concerts, streaming milestones, chart placements, or artistic contributions. Jungkook, however, is acknowledged for creating cross-industry impact, which goes beyond the conventional boundaries of what an idol typically achieves. This indicates a new type of recognition that is future-oriented. It implies that HYBE sees Jungkook as the prototype of what the next generation of idols will look like, individuals who can command influence across music, fashion, lifestyle, and commerce. From a corporate perspective, HYBE's recognition of Jungkook establishes a precedent in artist management. It shows that the company is willing to single out an individual, even within a collective brand like BTS. This move signals a shift in how the company views value creation. Instead of only emphasizing group activity, HYBE recognizes that certain individuals hold disproportionate influence in sustaining corporate growth. For Jungkook, this recognition elevates him into a different category of artist within HYBE. It effectively means that the company acknowledges him not just as one member among 7, but as a key figure whose personal trajectory can influence stock value, investor sentiment, and global partnerships. Such recognition has not been formally extended to any other BTS member, making it unprecedented. The distinction highlights how Jungkook has become central to HYBE's corporate narrative in ways that go beyond artistic merit. The recognition Jungkook has received sets the stage for future developments. If HYBE continues to emphasize him in this way, it will likely shape how the company manages individual activities of BTS members during and after military service. It also suggests that HYBE sees Jungkook as a sustainable long-term figure whose influence will not diminish with time. Moreover, the recognition carries implications for how other entertainment companies might treat their own artists. By framing Jungkook in this unique way, HYBE sets a standard for what recognition can look like when tied to corporate strategy rather than just artistic celebration. This recognition is therefore not simply about Jungkook's current popularity. It is a signal of how HYBE plans to position him, and by extension itself, in the next phase of global entertainment. This is unprecedented within BTS. While group activities traditionally generated surges in stock movement, HYBE's recognition of Jungkook demonstrates that one member has become capable of driving similar reactions individually. Such recognition is unique in that HYBE has not applied this same level of market-based framing to any other BTS member. For investors, this recognition clarifies where long-term value might lie. By highlighting Jungkook's influence, HYBE communicates confidence in his ability to sustain relevance beyond group contexts, reassuring stakeholders that the company has a reliable global figurehead for future growth. Another key reason behind HYBE's singular recognition of Jungkook lies in his structural role in branding. Brands seek cultural figures who can bridge local and global markets. Jungkook has proven to be one of the rare individuals capable of achieving this balance. His campaigns with Calvin Klein are prime examples of how his influence resonates simultaneously across Asia, North America, and Europe. Unlike traditional endorsements, Jungkook's collaborations are not regionally confined. Data from global retail outlets shows consistent increases in sales linked to his campaigns across multiple continents. This breadth of impact is unusual, even for globally recognized celebrities. Most celebrity endorsements result in localized spikes of engagement. In Jungkook's case, recognition from HYBE reflects acknowledgement that his branding effect is transnational and scalable. No other BTS member has been positioned by HYBE as the central figure in such cross-border campaigns. Although members have collaborated with luxury fashion houses and global brands, none have been formally recognized by HYBE as embodying the type of consistent transnational branding power Jungkook holds. This makes the recognition unique not only within BTS, but also within the broader K-pop landscape. Entertainment corporations are increasingly data-driven. HYBE invests heavily in analytics to measure consumer behavior, digital engagement, and cross-industry outcome. Jungkook's recognition is directly tied to these measurable indicators. His social media influence, streaming numbers, brand campaign results, and global fan engagement consistently surpass those of his peers, creating a data-backed rationale for his elevated status. For instance, Jungkook's solo tracks have consistently charted on global platforms such as Billboard, Spotify, and Apple Music in ways that rival or surpass established Western pop stars. In fashion campaigns, measurable outcomes include record-breaking social media impressions, direct sales growth, and heightened brand awareness. HYBE's recognition reflects this evidence-based reality. Among all BTS members, Jungkook delivers the most consistent, quantifiable results across diverse industries. This approach is distinct from traditional idol management, where recognition is often based on subjective qualities like artistry or popularity. HYBE's recognition of Jungkook as a unique asset is based on hard data, making it unprecedented in the company's history. Recognition from HYBE carries symbolic weight because it establishes a corporate hierarchy of influence. While all members of BTS are respected, singling out Jungkook indicates that the company sees him as indispensable to its long-term growth. This acknowledgement reshapes the internal dynamics of how BTS is perceived within the company and externally. By framing Jungkook in this way, HYBE elevates him from being a member of a group to being a corporate ambassador whose influence extends beyond music. This symbolic recognition demonstrates to partners, shareholders, and competitors that HYBE holds a singular asset who can drive cultural and economic impact simultaneously. No other BTS member has received this symbolic form of recognition. While others have been praised for their artistry, philanthropy, or leadership, Jungkook's recognition ties directly to corporate growth, placing him in a unique category of acknowledgement. One of the most significant aspects of this recognition is that it reflects a broader shift within K-pop management, from group-focused promotion to individual-focused branding. BTS, as a collective, revolutionized K-pop's global standing. However, as the members pursue solo ventures, companies like HYBE must decide which individuals can sustain international momentum on their own. Jungkook's recognition demonstrates HYBE's decision. By highlighting him in this way, the company communicates that it views him as the strongest candidate for solo global dominance. This recognition signals a shift away from group-centered promotion toward individual-centered strategy, where Jungkook is positioned as the focal point. Such recognition is unique because it breaks from the tradition of treating all members equally in public communication. HYBE has not formally given this type of recognition to any other member, making Jungkook the first to be acknowledged in this way. Beyond corporate and financial aspects, recognition of Jungkook also holds cultural implications. K-pop is a global cultural force, but it has historically emphasized collective identity. By recognizing Jungkook in an individual capacity, HYBE contributes to a cultural shift in how idols are perceived. Jungkook becomes a symbol of how K-pop can produce individuals whose global resonance rivals or exceeds that of Western pop icons. This recognition signals that K-pop is no longer confined to collective identity, but can produce singular figures who redefine global stardom. Other BTS members have cultural significance, but Jungkook's recognition is distinctive in that it is formally tied to HYBE's corporate messaging. This legitimizes him as not only a cultural figure, but also a corporate-endorsed global icon. When compared to other HYBE-managed artists, Jungkook's recognition stands out even more. Groups like 17, Le Seraphim, and New Jeans have members who are popular, but HYBE has not publicly singled out any of them in the way it has with Jungkook. Recognition in those cases remains group-oriented, emphasizing collective brand strength. By treating Jungkook differently, HYBE sets a precedent that no other artist under its umbrella has matched. This creates a new framework for how the company might handle individual recognition in the future. But for now, Jungkook remains the sole example of this elevated status. The recognition Jungkook has received carries long-term implications for both his career and HYBE's corporate strategy. For Jungkook, it solidifies his status as a figure who will likely continue to dominate global stages independently. For HYBE, it positions the company as a leader in evolving beyond traditional idol management by recognizing and leveraging individual global assets. The move also sets a precedent for the entertainment industry. Other companies may follow HYBE's example by recognizing individual idols who generate disproportionate influence. However, Jungkook remains the first to receive such recognition, ensuring his place in entertainment history as a figure who redefined what it means to be an idol. Ultimately, HYBE's recognition of Jungkook must be understood as a deliberate corporate strategy. It is not merely about celebrating success, but about leveraging it to strengthen HYBE's market position. By positioning Jungkook as a unique global asset, HYBE aligns its brand with his influence, ensuring that his success directly translates into corporate growth. This strategy is unprecedented in K-pop. While idols have long been celebrated for their achievements, rarely has a corporation framed one individual as central to its global expansion strategy. This makes Jungkook's recognition unparalleled, not only within BTS, but also within the industry at large.